Hello, everyone. I want to share a dream that I received early this morning from Yahushua, and I know that I have to share this because of what was spoken into my spirit as I was waking up out of the dream. So, for those who have ears, let them hear. The dream starts with me in my hometown, and I'm standing on the steps of a YMCA, and I'm looking out at the street at my car, and there was a guy standing in front of my car, and he had a notepad in his hand and he was writing something down. This particular guy, in real life, I know him, and anytime he shows up in my dream, I know that he is in representation of Satan. So he's standing there and he's writing something down, and all of a sudden my car starts to roll backwards, and it rolls backwards in a U-shaped pattern, but ends up right at my feet. So immediately I'm grabbing this car by the bumper, and you know that I had to have been extremely strong to be able to grab a car by its bumper to keep it from rolling backwards. So I'm shouting at this guy, and I'm like, "Hey, what did you do? What are you doing?" And he's just standing there and he's continuing to write down whatever he was writing down, as if he didn't hear a word that I was saying. So somehow I managed to get myself inside the car, and I put my car in park, and as soon as I did that, I jumped out the car and I went for him. Before I can do anything, I noticed that there is a car right beside us, and it looked like one of those, like a Oldsmobile or maybe a Lincoln, something that you would see on the road in the 1980s. Then I looked down and I noticed that underneath the car was like this big ball of dirty white fabric. It looked like it had skid marks on it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a person. There was someone pinned underneath the car. So for a split second, I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, who did I hit? But then I looked, I'm like, this person is pinned underneath this silver car. I didn't have nothing to do with it. My car, I didn't see my car get into any kind of accident. So I'm like, what happened? And I hear someone in the background, and they're like, somebody hit them. So there I am trying to get a closer look. I wanted to see who it was that was pinned underneath the car, like if I knew them or something. And when I looked closely, like a lot closer, I noticed that there was a baby within that cloth. It looked like a newborn baby, and the baby wasn't crying or anything. The baby wasn't hurt. It was just laying there looking around. So I'm like, oh my gosh, we gotta help them. And then I see like a crowd of black people come over, and they were all gathering around the car trying to figure out how to help this person that was pinned underneath the car. So I'm like shocked, and I'm like, wow, that happened so fast. And I just remembered walking back toward the steps of the YMCA, and before I actually got to the steps, I'm saying to myself, dang, did anybody even call, for help? So I said it to the people that's around the car. I'm like, did anybody call for help? And they're like, oh no, we didn't. And I'm like, well, dang, let me call, because at this point, this person has been up underneath that car long enough, and I knew that they were dying. I knew that they were going to die. But the baby was fine. So I go up the steps and I grab my phone that just so happened to be connected to a charger. And I said to myself, dang, I hope I have enough juice to make this phone call. And I start holding my phone up towards the sky to try and get a signal because I couldn't get a signal. And then I noticed someone standing beside me. I didn't see their face. I just saw their arms raise up against mine, and they had a phone and they were trying to help me find a signal. They were trying to get a signal with their phone as well. And neither of us could get a signal. So I'm thinking to myself, like, dang, what am I gonna do? We gotta get some help. And out of my mouth, I'm like, Jesus. And the reason why I said Jesus, and I felt this in the dream, is because I knew that those people that were around the car, that they didn't know the name of Yeshua. So I said Jesus first, and then I said Yeshua, and I didn't get anything. And I heard those people, after I called Jesus, they started crying out. They were crying out to Jesus. They were saying, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And there was nothing. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And then the next thing you know, I'm waking up. So as I'm waking up, the Ruach began to speak in my spirit. And this is what was said. Now let this be for a length of time, that what has been prophesied shall now begin. Straight up, what I first got was that this has to do with Jacob's trouble. I could be wrong, but that's what I felt. On a personal level, I just had oral surgery about I think it was almost 2 weeks. It's been almost 2 weeks now. I'm still healing. And I was really struggling trying to do what I know that I normally do on a daily basis. Staying in prayer, reading, fasting, because I was under antibiotics and I had to take pain meds, because there's no way, I'm sorry, I had to do what I had to do, and I already went to y'all about it. So I knew even during that time that the enemy was trying to do something to me. He was trying to take from me. I felt it in my spirit. And I feel like in this dream, Yah was showing me that, he indeed was trying to take from me. He did try to take from me, but yet Yah gave it back. He took it back from him and returned it to me. So, continuing with the dream, Yah said that they will cry out for me and I will not hear. And not being able to get a response from Yeshua is a confirmation for me that the Messiah is cut off. Like, straight up. He's cut off. The YMCA, I noticed in a lot of dreams that I've had, especially pertaining to my hometown, the YMCA has always been a place for refuge for me. So I knew that I was okay and I was in a safe place. That dark cloud, those dark skies were over those people in the street. But where I stood, I was safe. I just pray that Yah will have mercy on my people. And He has warned. I just pray that Israel will turn away from every wicked way and every wicked thing and repent. But most importantly, place their eyes back on the Most High Yah. It has been said to put on the full armor. It has been said to prepare your hearts. It has been said to pray without ceasing, to fast. It has been said to get under the shadow of the protection of the Most High Yah. It has been said to repent. So many have refused to hear. So many have mocked. So many have scoffed. But now we will see who is covered in the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach. Now we will see who is His. Now is the time for not just a harvest, but a reaping. Yah is not slack. It begins. Again, the Ruach said, "For let this be for a length of time, that what has been prophesied shall now begin." Those who are already in the Mashiach, stay ready. Stay ready for whatever that there is to come. Hold on to your faith and to all that has been given to you. I continue to pray for all of Yah's people. I love you all. Stay vigilant and shalom.